Hi, my name is Sarah McGuinness and I'm the founder of My Health Revolution. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the first whiteboard session. I hope these will be a series of sessions where you can ask those burning questions and get those answers that you're looking for. What better one to kick off with than that big hairy question, what is wellness? Now I am going to start by saying that I'm going to use the term wellness and health and well-being interchangeably, and I know there are some that would disagree with me and say they all mean different things, but for the purpose of this being a short, sharp session, I'm going to use it in the context of what does it mean to be well. When I go and talk to organisations and I ask them what wellness means to them, I usually get them to talk about what they're doing because that seems to be the easiest way to get them to articulate what it is that wellness means to their organisation. And they generally talk to two, perhaps three different concepts. The first concept is, that's a fruit bowl. Most organisations seem to do some kind of fruit bowl or something to do with healthy catering. And the other concept they often talk about is something to do with physical health, physical activity. Oh dear, that's someone running. Makes them look more like they're skiing. Or jumping maybe. Maybe they're jumping. There you go. So they tend to talk about boot camps, gym memberships, fun runs, team sport, or health monitoring, looking at things like cholesterol, BMI, something like that. Something to do with physical health. The last concept that we're starting to see a little bit more of a move in, that's a brain, is around that mental health piece, whether it's resilience workshops or more personal development workshops. But what's really interesting is when I talk to employees about what wellness means to them, we hear something a little bit different. So in my workshops, the first question I normally ask is, what is wellness? And I get them to do it in 3 or 4 words. And they come back with these ideas. They say wellness to them means to be happy, to be healthy, to be calm, and interestingly enough, to be loved or to be valued. And so you can see there's a bit of a disconnect there between what organisations see wellness as and what employees are looking for in terms of wellness. And I don't think it's that organisations don't value their employees. I think it's that they don't see it as a part of wellness. They don't see it as a strategic part of looking at wellness in a broader sense. Wellness in a lot of organisations that I've come across is still little pieces that aren't connected or united. And where we see wellness moving, and certainly the international trends are showing this, that organisations are now starting to embrace wellness in a much more strategic point of view because there are just so many business benefits for doing so. Very briefly, when I was looking around at the different models of wellness, I couldn't find one that really clearly articulated personal wellness and organisational wellness in one single model, which led us really to developing our own. And so I'm going to share with you the My Health Revolution model of health and well-being, or wellness, because I'm using the terms interchangeably. And it looks like this. So the first piece is mental health, which is really everything that happens up in your head. Your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, your spirituality, your self-esteem, your self-confidence, really anything that happens in your head in the way that you perceive and view the world. As an aside, the University of Canterbury have found that the term mental fitness works really well with men, and that research was done with men, but there's no reason why that couldn't work with women as well. Another term is mental well-being, and that seems to have more of a more of an accessibleness to it perhaps than the term mental health, which has some stigmas around it. I think from an organisational perspective, we certainly do have a long way to go in making mental health, mental fitness, mental well-being a more accessible topic in organisations. The next one is physical health, which is really anything to do with your body. So what you feed it, how strong it is, how flexible it is, your cardiovascular health, how healthy your insides are, so your organs, your bone density, but also your skin health and how you look after all of that. The third piece there is social health. So that's how connected you feel to your friends and your family, your local community, your neighbours, your work colleagues, And also more broadly, how connected you feel to your culture, how involved you are in giving back, and that reciprocal nature of being part of a community and feeling loved and valued, which we touched on before. I think this is going to be a really big area for organisations to really have to step up their game in terms of wellbeing and wellness. We can only have to look at the UK to see they've brought in a minister of loneliness, because they've recognised that social isolation and that loneliness is an increasing problem. So as an organisation, I would be starting to look at that as a very hot area. And the last piece is environmental health. At a lower level, we're looking at basic, access to fresh water and air and sanitation, daylight, those things we know that are really important for human health. But the next level, we start looking at access to nature, how much daylight that we're getting in. We know that people, the seasons, for example, can really affect people, and those winter months can be tough around mental health for some people. Increasingly, environmental health will start looking at the urban environment and the work environment and how we can enable people to be well within those, even when they don't realise it. It's those, by design rather than something that's mistakenly happened. We start making environments that enable people to be happy and healthy without having to think about it. If we step back from the model, we can look at it this way. That top level is about me, or about the person. It's about the person having good mental health and good physical health. And the bottom level is about the world that they live in. Do they feel socially connected, and is the environment supportive of them to be well? So how? Connected, mental health, do they feel connected within themselves? And do they feel connected socially? And are they able, from a physical and environmental point of view, to be well? And that's really the easiest way to look at it. Does a person feel connected and able? And is the world connected with them and enabling them to be healthy and well? And that's the most simple way that we can make wellness and make it relevant to both a person and an organisation, because already you can see that the organisation plays a huge role, particularly from being the world that a person lives in. They play a huge role in enabling people to be healthy and well. And enabling people to do that will actually give the business a huge number of benefits around employee engagement and retention, productivity and creativity. There's lots of benefits there, and that's probably a whole other conversation. But enabling people is actually about taking wellness from being little initiatives to being something that's really strategic and covers these 4 blocks. So that was our quick whiteboard session. I hope that was helpful for you and has answered some of those burning questions around what wellness is. If you've got more questions about this topic or future topics, please feel free to put them in the comments below. Look forward to talking to you soon. Bye.